Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the recovery addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
Happy Friday. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me in the Court of Public Opinion. My name is Recovery Addicts. I'm tall again. I have a chair that slowly sinks during the day. So I'm always sitting up straight. I'm never slouching. Right, that's not true. But at the start of the day, I'm very tall. And by the end of the day, I'm way down here. So now you know why. I think I need a new chair. But I'll start out tall today. We'll see how that goes. So good to have you here. Happy Friday. It is the weekend. Finally, the weekend is here. It has been a crazy week. It's been crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure even where to start there, but let's see. All rise. Yeah, the court's not in session quite yet. Let me get this. We are expecting Alex Murdaugh back in court today, and he's going to be in court. He will look a little bit different today because he has been convicted, because he's been found guilty by a jury yesterday. He will no longer be in street clothes. He will be in a jail uniform, which will probably be orange, and he will most likely also be shackled. That's standard. The jury is no longer there to be influenced by that change in how he looks, his appearance. And so he will very much appear in custody today. Let's see. We want turn this off, turn that on. Changing over everything here. Just one moment. Okay. All right. The couple things I want to say. First of all, the big one is that Calypson's vixen, Amber, is first in chat today. I think she typed before she really thought it through. And now she may have buyer's remorse because that little 3-letter word just purchased her the internet, the entire thing for the day.
6-volt bus just sent a super sticker with 4.
The 6-volt bus, I saw you as well. It sounds like you may be upgrading to 12-volt over the weekend, which is doubling your capacity, which is, I guess, I shouldn't use the term capacity next to in electrical terms because you know exactly what that means, but doubling your voltage, let's put it that way. Cranking up the power a little bit. Good luck to you over the weekend for that. Myra, thank you so much for being first sorry, not Myra. Did you see that? Did you see how easy it is for me to just slip into giving Myra the internet, as she has won so many times? But this time it was Amber who beat Myra out. I'm not even sure if Myra's up yet. She probably was up late last night. I saw her on the stream then, and I'll find her. I'll see if she's in chat. So Amber, thank you so much. Amber is one of our amazing mods. We do have some incredible mods who do a lot of hard work, all for the excellent pay of $0. And they're volunteers. They work tirelessly to try to make it stay a fun place here in chat. They're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't expect them to be perfect. Let's give them a big round of applause as appropriate. But also let's cut them some slack in case they make a mistake or in case they might do something a little bit differently than I would. It's fine. It's all right. I appreciate every single one of them and what they do. They are amazing. Mississippi Raptors and Reptiles says, I've actually been here when we were in single digits during the DB case. That was so much fun. That was a fun time. It's changed a little bit since then, but hopefully we've got a lot of what made you want to stay since then still here. That's what I want to preserve. Also, Missy Pants gifted 1 addict membership, and I don't know where that went. That's way down here. Let's see if I can find who received that one. Looks like Susanna Oliveira Botha was gifted a membership by Missy Pants. Thank you very much. And 6 Volt also appreciate the super chat with the mug. I have 2 empty mugs. I have 2 sad mugs today. Running to the grocery store this morning for pickles and water, but I have just an empty sad mug. If you want a mug that can be sad when it's empty as well, you can get it online. You can find these mugs available. I think they're in 5 colors. But currently they're sold through eBay. Hopefully one day I'll make it through another venue that makes it a little bit easier to buy. I know some of you are not big eBay fans, don't do the eBay thing, and that we'll get there. We'll get that to you as well. Also this week, not a camel. I'm not a camel. Also this week, we fixed the problem with the mouse pad listing. So if you want your very own mouse pad with artwork created by Stephen Lee, one of the longtime supporters of the channel, you can buy one of these mouse pads. They're now up on eBay as well, and they're awesome. I love it. It works for my mouse. You guys remember the days when I was doing this on the desk? Well, now it's like this. And it's just so much quieter. It helps everything. So if you need a mouse pad, I'd highly recommend it. Plus, it's got Stephen Lee's artwork on here, which we love. Thank you so much, Stephen Lee, for that. Let's see. Quick roll call. Hope we can't do that quite yet. Alpaca Renee just gifted a membership as well. Thank you, Alpaca Renee, for that. Let's see. Scroll way to the bottom. Chatascudum just received.
Let no dead horse go unbeaten.
Let no dead horse go unbeaten. Congratulations on that free membership from Alpaca Renee, and thank you very much, Alpaca Renee, for the generous donation. Okay, let's see. We've got to do a quick roll call. We've only got probably about 24 minutes before the court's going to start. And I do want to say this court's going to be a little bit different. It's probably going to be quick, but also at the same time, we don't know how long it's going to take. Because South Carolina has a victims' rights law that allows victims in a case that have actually suffered some sort of harm, whether it be, let me see what it says. It says to qualify, the victim must sustain a direct injury, physical or psychological. So looking at this case, I don't know if you can say that Alex's law partners suffered an injury, because that's financial. That's a different charge. Who is the victim in this case? We've got Paul and Maggie for sure, right? But who else would be a victim? Possibly you've got Buster, you've got the family, but they would maybe qualify on both fronts. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see who speaks, because the judge, I think, may allow people to speak. It'll be interesting to see if Alex says anything. But anyway, we've got a lot of that to go into. Let me first just welcome everybody in chat. Beth Gish, Ready Freddy, GG, Georgia Culture, On a Globe, Chandra, Horse Sheet and Bananas, Tracy Anzar, Linda Hill, Aggie Ayach. Let's see. Missy Pants, Golden Mom, O-Town Chill, Tara P, Debbie, Laura, Weather Watch, Bella, La 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 Lee. I think lay sounds easier. La 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 Lay. It rolls off easier, but I will say La 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 Lee. It was nice talking to you the other day, by the way. Thank you so much. Last Poet, Drew Nadrowski, present. Enjoyed the whole trial with everyone. Good to have you here, Drew. Color Me Abstract, Julie Padillo. Good morning. The Dutch Girl, Not a Drama Llama, is in the house. Eagles Prey, Mary McKee, Lily Girl, 6 Volt Bus, we mentioned you already, upgrading to 12 volt possibly over the weekend. Rhonda, Dodie Sweeney, good morning. Dilly Pickles, Veronica 777XOXO, hi all. Mac is here, Lee, Pampered Glamper, Marilyn Skull, Adam Nusky, I'm going to take a seat in the jury box, he says, because it's empty now. JR EPTX, welcome. Maria McKee, the Creative Bee is here. Hello, Debbie. Good to have you here. Happy Friday to you. Picky, Ritz, Abby UK, Beth Gish, let's see, Georgia Culture, Hold Your Horses, Missy Pants, good morning from defrosted Minnesota. It's 61 degrees here this morning. I'm not going to rub it in, but it's going to be a beautiful day here. Let's see, Debbie, I used to have a chair like that. Did you get rid of it because it also kept sinking throughout the day? Hello, what's your America look like, Mutt? Good to have you here. Nice talking to you as well. Picky, Susanna Oliveira Botha, hello from Holland. Good to have you, Susanna. Maui Bell, Alex just arrived in a tan jumpsuit. Okay, tan it is. We'll go with tan. I just missed that. I was busy watching chat, but oops, that was the wrong button. Let's see. So he's going to be there. Give me just 1 second to make sure I've got the right feeds going. That's going to be on 2. Okay, there we go. All right. Audio's on 2, so we should be good. Let's see. Donna Thompson, Roxy Moser, good morning. Abby UK, of course. Farrah C. Lee, First Lady A, Pampered Glamper, DSN, Kelly Harper, Natural Empress, Beth Gish, Share Bear, happy birthday, or no, happy Friday, sorry. It's not your birthday, I don't think. It would be amazing if it was, if it just happened to also be your birthday. But happy Friday to you, Share Bear. Richard on the Globe, let's see, Bill Brasky. Picky is here, jumpsuit is tan with orange shoes. Okay, I thought it was going to be orange jumpsuit, but tan works well for me. I'm fine with that. I'm not a big fan of the orange overall. Tan's pretty cool. Let's see, Creative B. He's asking if Weather Watch is everyone's okay after the storms today. Jimmy Nell says, Mr. Pickles. Bone Digger is here. Not today is here. Cindy Lou, Old Dude. Lori Pavik. Lori, am I saying your name wrong? Pavchik. Is it a chick or Pavik? I always get it wrong. I think I got your first name right, though. That's worth something. It's worth something, right? Cachette, Miss Chris, Farrah C., Abby, Michelle Stark, Cachette again. Oh, I got you twice there, like in the same breath. Let's see, Mississippi Raptors and Reptiles. What was the congratulations for? Probably for winning the membership. That's what it was. Hold Your Horses here. Orange is his color palette. Is in his color palette. Weather Watch is here. Welcome, Weather Watch. Looks like wind and hail for some. Texas saw a lot of damage. Some tornadoes and straight line winds. Crazy, crazy storms. Broadway Garden. Wishing the family the best. Feel terrible for Buster as well. This is a hard thing. Carl Herschel, Rev Minister. Good to have you as well. MGB, I listened to his son's testimony last night. I didn't, and I really don't think he did it. Despite what most think, I believe there was reasonable doubt, and this wasn't cut and dry. Excellent. Thanks for sharing that, MGB. We'll talk a little bit about the jury today and what we know from the interview that was done last night, or I guess this morning. Depends how you view it. When I viewed it. But we do know a little more about what the jury deliberated, what they thought going in, how long it took them to deliberate. We'll talk about that briefly. DMB Second just says, it is rigged. Mountain Mama, good morning. More snow in Toronto for Farrah. Let's see. Missy Pants, Wendy. Who did I miss here? We've got Vixen here, of course. Michelle Johnson, Michelle Stark. Nice to get two Michelles side by side. Feel awful for the family. I really do. There's no winners. That's the thing. It's not in a sporting event. You know, one side goes home happy, like, yay, we're victorious type thing. I don't see that here. Unfortunately, I saw people acting that way, which I didn't think was appropriate. The after verdict press conference looked more like a political rally, which I was not a fan of. I realized that there's a point where, you know, there's some taking of bows type thing. It's like the Academy Awards, getting up and giving a speech. I think what we saw yesterday was too much. Let's see. Abby K. Abby's perfect. Wonderful. Not today. Who else is here? I saw Nurgle Rot in here somewhere. Eric, good morning to you. I might have missed you. O-Town Chill. G. Smith. Debbie says, I've been up all night, so we'll see how long I'll be awake. Don't get yourself in a bad spot health-wise. Get some rest. Pam Jams is here. Chattaskuttum, hi, welcome. The DB days were great. Those were fun times. Much quieter in chat. There were long pauses where nobody said anything, which we don't have anymore. Linda Hill, Tater Tot, Shiza, AA Shiza is here. Welcome. Let's see, who am I missing? O-Town Chill, I see you there with all the hands. It's wonderful. Kelly Harper. Okay. I think I've got most of these, people here. Bill Brasky, got the hiccups. I'm not sure why. JM Mo's here. My book comes today. I cannot wait, says Mo. That's awesome. I didn't see Myra yet. Myra, are you here? She might not be in yet. Anise Brown, good morning. JM. Let's see. Color Me Abstract. Dean Wall, they have forensic accountant trying to find all his money now. I don't think they'll find it. It is so hard to chase down cash. Cash is very, very difficult to find once it's it's very mobile. It can be moved without records. Looks like we have the family's going to be arriving in court here. Just briefly, we have, let's see who we have. There's Buster there and back. I was going to say I didn't see him, but he was hiding behind John Marvin. John Marvin was not in court yesterday, I believe, during the sentencing, unless he was seated somewhere else. I did not see him. He might have been in the far side where he's sort of hiding behind someone, but family is there. They'll be here shortly. Good morning, Nicole Hems, always on go. Good to have you here. Did the sound stop working? Did all my sounds stop working? I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe they did. I can hear myself, but nothing else. I'll have to check that.
I'm not a cat.
Oh, they're still working. Okay. They might just be slowed down. How long before Waters writes his book? Another year, 6 months tomorrow. He was beaming like a kid at Christmas, Ivan. Almost a silly grin on his face yesterday. I understand he's been through a whole ton of stress. This is for him. This the sound's coming. This is a big win. But it was. I don't.
Bring the jury.
Even though I've told you I agreed with the verdict. But even though I agreed with the verdict, it felt so wrong watching that press conference and just it's like bows and claps and cheers and stuff. It's like this is justice, and that is over the top. That's what I saw. Anyway, KC, what reason did he give about being at the kennels and lying about it? Didn't. Other than that, the drugs, drugs in the pocket, wanted to lie, and we had some.
Murdaugh stole it.
We had some challenges with his story about that. The TikTok sealed his fate. That little video, Snapchat, I think was. Did you see the jurors were showed again in coverages last night? Do you think anything will come of that? Holly, we had that same feed, and so as we were watching Alex let out, the jurors appeared on our feed as well. I did not like that at all. As a matter of fact, I had a call this morning from one of you who wanted to say, hey, you might consider cutting that out. I want to hear what the judge says. It's, Law and Crime still has it up. All the big channels still have their feed up that show that happening. It's hard to put a genie back in the bottle once it's out. And so, clearly if the judge says that's not appropriate, and to remove it, that's fine. But what we saw was basically what any member of the public could have seen had they walked into the courtroom. The problem is it went against what the judge ordered Court TV to do, and Court TV is the one responsible for this. The total outcome may just be a negative for all of us as we watch trials, because the courts might say, hey, we had these rules and you broke them. We're not going to let you in anymore. And that could be the outcome. There could also be some fines. There could be contempt of court or something.
Let no dead horse go unbeaten.
Let's see, Misty Farley. I see you. Susan Bond. Wendy. Victoria S. Wendy says, wow, you finally mentioned me in roll call. Age to the Lost. Elizabeth Blacko. Anise Brown. Georgia Culture. Pampered Glamper. T.A. Good morning to you. Holly Henderson. Reverend Blue. G. Smith. Weather Watch. Janice Craig. KF7AIK, good morning. 21 degrees at the Utah border this morning. Long time no listen. How's everyone been? Great, Bob. Thanks for checking in this morning. Hope you're doing great. Minnie Pearl, 105 is here. Miss Winters, Isabella Rennie. KQD, good morning. Daisy Sojourner. Let's see. Lady Writer, Carol Martin. Melody Nicole. I also think Reasonable Doubt. Maisla is here. Let's see. I know I've missed a bunch because chat's jumped. I was told by my victim's advocate that only parents, siblings, and children of the crime can give impact statements. Anyone else can submit written statements. MGB, I'm curious. Are you in South Carolina? Because I know the rules sort of vary from state to state. But that would be interesting to see parents, siblings, and children. So that would be brothers. It would basically be brothers of the victim. Okay, so you've got Marilyn and Buster. Is that who it would limit it to? For written or verbal statements. Michelle, I really like the phone-in shows and hearing everyone's opinions. I love to hear everyone's accents, Michelle. I really do. Hearing people from Holland and from Oliver in Canada, from everything. It's wonderful. By the way, shout out, mentioning Canada, shout out to JB this morning. Hope you're having a wonderful day, JB. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for calling in the other day. No orange jail Crocs. Dean Sparks, hola from Mexico. Dean, welcome. Good to have you with us. Gabrielle Biorange, I said it wrong. Gabrielle, I'm sorry. Biorange, Bjornle, I don't know. I need a pronunciation guide, and even then, I will probably get it wrong. Andre, which prison is he going to be in? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Jennifer Clark, Jenny's Craig, Scott Marshall. Didn't see Alex Murdaugh's brother, sister, and Buster's girlfriend verdict. Wonder if they'll be there for sentencing. We've got some of them. Oh, sorry, showing talking head, which is not doing us any good. Let's go back here. Bella's going to my tech department. Okay, I think I got most of you. Forever Blue or Forever in Blue. Buzz Nevermore. Flobby Jobby. KC. Name is Mud. I think I've got most of you. Veronica, I just saw you there as I scrolled past. If I did miss you, the Brown Barn, raise your hand in chat like that after the Brown Barn did, because I'm not going to scroll too far back up to try to find you all. Dallas born, Boston bred, Samantha Terry, Dean Wall says, good morning, Mutt. Good morning, Dean. Red Pen, NBC News had not guilty on their headline, but guilty in the news story under it for quite a while on my phone feed. It's funny, Red Pen, because in situations like this, when you have an event, a newsworthy event that's about to happen, news stations will prep for it. I know this sounds morbid, but they will pre-write obituaries for famous people they think are going to die. And so if they die, they can just hit play and immediately have something ready to go on air. It's like any day now, this person's going to go, and it's morbid, but that's how the news industry works. Oftentimes, the first person to air is pretty much the only person who gets the views and the coverage.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
As they knew that this verdict was coming, they probably had different layouts for each way. If it's a not guilty, if it's a hung jury, if it's a guilty, this is what we're going to do. And in their haste to put everything together, they grabbed from the wrong pile, and that's a lot of times why you see the incorrect information in a brand new report hot off the press. Let's see. The more video stream that crew screw up, less likely we get to have video stream because judges will not allow it. Yeah, that's my fear, Eric, for sure. Wait, what happened in the courtroom TV camera? Georgia, what happened was during the trial, after the trial, at the time the verdict was read and it was all done, the judge, the court clerk read the verdict. The judge said, hey, you've been found guilty of these 4 charges. I'm remanding you to the custody of the sheriff and take him away. And as they have done every day previously, the camera that sits up next to the judge follows Alex Murdaugh out the door, that door that's been sitting next to the in between the jury box and the witness stand. And as they panned in the background, they panned across the entire jury and showed all the members of the jury sitting there. And then as Alex went out the door, they then panned back across them again. And that feed was live both times. And that goes against what the judge had said to keep their identities secret. Now showing their picture isn't necessarily revealing their identity, but it could be considered that because the judge ordered them the cameras not to show them. And that's Court TV. That Court TV was running that camera and providing the feed for all the channels. Every video feed out of that courtroom was produced by Court TV and then disseminated to whichever groups wanted to use different feeds. So, let's see. Tish was worried that the verdict would come in after she left on vacation, and she managed to have it come in before she left. That was good for you. Good to have you, Tish. Wayne, howdy y'all. Good to have you. Ignore Me is here. Alex Brother. I'm not sure if Alex Brother would be considered a victim. Are the victims also the family members of the accused? That's the question. If they are, then it's a much bigger pool for people to talk. Maggie's sister and parents would count. I forgot about her parents. Do you think anyone will comment? I think Marion will. I don't know about Buster. Waters was smiling like a possum eating briars in the woods. That was too tragic. What in your opinion will it be for other family members? What in your opinion will it be for other family members in that area? I don't know about the second part. I'm not sure what you're asking about, but I was not happy with how the state attorney general was speaking like it was a political rally. And he is an elected official, right? He's elected to that position. He is a politician and a professional. It's sort of like that's where they cross. And some of you from out of the country might not understand that. He appoints people underneath. He appointed Creighton Waters to be the lead on this trial. But his position himself is elected. So people vote, and that's how he gets into office. And every few years he has to, run for office again or run for re-election. So there is a political side of that. Ivan, good to have you here, says less than 3 hours for 6 straight weeks of comprehensive data is embarrassing in my opinion. They had their minds made up. They did. And now's a good time probably to mention this. In the interview that we heard from one of the jurors who broke his silence shortly after the trial was over, he said going into that deliberation room, 9 of us already thought he was guilty. 2 of us thought that he was innocent, and 1 of us hadn't made up their minds. It took only 45 minutes of actual deliberations before all 12 agreed he was guilty. And he says the piece of evidence that convinced everyone was Paul's video at the kennels. That was what they made their decision on. And that tells us that what they did is they saw that Alex had lied about being at the crime scenes immediately prior to the murders, and their reasonable inference was that he was guilty. And that's a piece of physical evidence. That's a piece of circumstantial evidence.
Katerina Scarcella just sent a super sticker with 6.99.
And what was interesting is there was absolutely zero mention of finances.
Alex stole it as well.
Katerina, thank you so much for the super sticker. Love the dancing the party hat and the little party noisemaker as well. Thank you very much, Katerina. Appreciate you being here, and thank you for your generous donation as well. It's interesting. I'm very, very glad that we didn't hear a juror come out and say, he's just stolen so much money, it must have been him. That would be the wrong thing. That would not be justice. I feel better that there was physical evidence with the video and Alex's voice there, as well as circumstantial evidence worked together to make the conviction. And honestly, they probably could have reached that conclusion without any of the financial information in. Weeks of the trial could have been cut out. Carrie Larson, thanks for admitting to becoming an addict. You didn't know you were doing it. You thought you were just hitting the subscribe button. But welcome. It's good to have you here. You can never leave now. We adopt you as one of our own. Thank you very much, Carrie. Jimmy Neal, I was a juror in a 6-week murder trial here in Birmingham. We took notes from day one. Essential. Yeah. MGB says, no, I'm in Oklahoma. Alex's brothers and sister, Buster and Alex's parents, if they're there and able. Okay, so that's who we might be hearing from today as for victim statements. Let's see. Is Maggie's parents still alive? I believe they are. Just watched the ABC interview. Finally, something good came out of Snapchat. Yeah, I think I have Snapchat. I don't know if I've ever posted anything or even viewed anything. I downloaded it one time and I thought, I've never tried it. I will say that I downloaded TikTok, and for a while, before I started live streaming here, I started working on TikTok, and I managed to even go viral on TikTok with millions of views on some of my videos. And I think I'm done with TikTok. I have very little interest in it. Buster is a victim. Trust me. Yes, he is. In Family Dynasty, he is a family true victim. What he has to live with no family, no Christmas or Thanksgiving. Color me abstract. I agree. Buster is a victim in every definition. His dad was found guilty of the crime, and his mom and his brother were victims of the crime. After seeing what Alex saw, there's no way he could lie about being there if he was innocent. That's just my opinion, but I think the jury felt the same, says Shiza. People in the area know the family, and even if you thought he was not guilty, Alex isn't someone that garners a vigorous fight against 8 other jurors. Kind of like Paul spoke from the grave. It does sort of have that feel, Carol, where the evidence was from one of the victims. Blue light helped me decide, says Jewel. You and the deer. Pam Carroll says, Recovered Addict, is Alex's brother still with him with the firm, or has he opened his own office? I thought he was still with the firm, even though they're under a different name. Okay, let's see here. Paul, a true victim, solved the crime with a Snapchat video. Yeah. We may never know. I mean, I've described this before. I like putting together puzzles, right? Like actual puzzles on a flat table. Dump all the pieces out, find the edges and the corners. I love doing that. A 1,000-piece puzzle to me is a lot of fun. And as you're building the puzzle and putting things together, sometimes there's a piece that you just can't find, right? And you're sorting through, you're looking for it. It's like I know what goes there. Right, I think I know what goes there because I can see what happens all around it, and I'm talking about even without looking at the image that it's going to be, like the image the puzzle was made from. You can infer what that missing piece is, and so as you're looking for it, you know what it should look like. I use that analogy several times. For me, this trial is a puzzle. Without the lid, we don't have the lid of the box to look at, but it's a puzzle that has some holes in it. And it has several holes. Some of them are larger than others. But for me, everything around each of those holes that I can't see in the picture tells me what should be there. And for me, there was nothing that would suggest that something other than what I had, my reasonable conclusion would be there. Maybe that just muddles it a little bit too much, but that's my thought process. Cachette says, the state left too many holes in the story for me. Welcome to Hotel California. Ready, Freddy, I agree. It was admitting to the lies, the video from the kennel, and the field trip, I think, that led to the guilty verdict. Do you think the field trip was... I wonder if we'll find out if they made up their mind before the field trip or not. Adam Nusky says, I think the finance portion was crucial for undermining the defense's picture of Alex, especially when he took the stand and said he hurt people he loved. May have been holdouts otherwise. Have you tried a 3D puzzle? My son actually just this morning put together a 3D puzzle of Notre Dame, which unfortunately burned, but several years back. But good morning, One Man's View. Welcome. Good to have you here. I think it looks like we're getting a little bit of action in the courtroom right now. The court clerk is setting out everything for the judge's day. I'm deep diving into the psychology of this family, forensic psychologist. I wish I was younger, in my humble opinion. Alex has a very real disorder. I'm still very sad for Paul in all of this, says Rockin' Dawkins. Janet Kaufman, good morning to you. If I missed anyone, do apologize in chat. Girl Next Door says, ironically, Alex could get more time for the financial crimes if found guilty in all those charges than he'll get in 2 murder charges. It's the way the system works. I have a hard time seeing him getting maximum for all the financial crimes. Especially, I don't know. I wonder if he's going to plead guilty on those or not. I don't know. Maybe he'll fight it till the end. Matthew Harris Law is in the house. Welcome, Matthew. Did watch your video last night. Loved it. Thanks for the new video on your channel. I believe the closing rebuttal for the prosecution did a ton of that, making up their minds. I think the field trip did not help the defense. I truthfully believe it hurt them. Exploited innocence. I watched this morning. I watched the video. And it's funny, I think the video of the trip was actually shot from the back seat of the truck the judge was in. I think he's like in the passenger seat, and it's sort of shot from behind the judge as they pull in. And then we see a couple areas around the property without any jurors there. I think the jurors were there at different places, but because at one point we see one of the vans with the doors open, but they were never included in the video. And it was interesting to look around and see the property and just get that perspective. What we haven't seen is what it looks like to drive in the kennel side and come in that way. And that was one of the things we saw. Good morning from Arkansas Dogs. Good to have you. Welcome. Let's see. I don't know if the feds will take custody of him regardless. They could run the sentence consecutively and never take him. We'll see what the sentences are today. I have to admit, Judge Newman, though I think he's been a good judge, it seems like he's not a big fan of Alex, or maybe he's not a big fan of Harpootlian. But it seems like there might be a maximum sentence type thing here. We'll see how this goes. Let's see. I agree to mainly being Paul's video that got Alex Murdaugh, along with his slip admitting to being there. Yeah, he had to admit to be there once all the evidence came in. Jimmy Neal, apologies, big dog. I egotistically think everyone knows where I am. Birmingham, England. And it was last Christmas, broke for the holidays, then back in the new year to finish up. Great job. Awesome, Jimmy. Good to have you connect through from England. Never been in Birmingham. I've never been there. I've been to London and Kings Lynn, and I think Kings Lynn was about as far north as I went. Aylesbury, Watford, Rickmansworth, Chelmsford, Hyde Park, lots of places I moved around there a lot. Love England. I wish I had a chippy around the corner. Fish and chips, man, that's my weakness. And they just can't make them the same. It's something about the elevation or the potatoes or the oil they fry them in or something. It's just not the same. You can't make them the same way as I had them over there. And roast potatoes, don't even get me started. Oh my goodness. Roast potatoes are fantastic. Lindsay Hendricks says, in my mind, keep in mind that what Ivan brought up yesterday, the fact that he also recently lost a son. The judge, yes, hopefully that doesn't impact his decisions. I can understand his emotions, but I think that he should be professional enough to be able to separate that from, how he acts as a judge, especially when it comes to rulings or sentencing. Hope Judge Newman has some strong words for Alex today. I think he will. Like we saw with Judge Doro, there's a point where, all through trial, the judge has to be very impartial. It has to say, I'm neither on one side or the other. And the judge, like he expressed it to the jury before. But Mega Johnny 420, the state drug this case out so that the Netflix documentary was released, then brought it up so the jurors watched it. That would be bad. Property has a very haunted vibe now. Kelly, it's interesting that the broken windows were kept. The bird pen with the bullet hole is still there. The doghouse with the bullet hole is still there. It really was just like frozen in time and left. And just, obviously the families moved out. And I think that's what it was when the drone flew over and people were taking guns and things out. I think they were just taking possessions out of the house because they're selling it. But okay, really will the sentencing matter? 130-year sentence is most likely life sentence for him. Newman isn't above reproach. We don't call each other names here either. Right. Thank you, Ivan. Appreciate that. Been to Notre Dame as well. I should bring in the little foam 3D that my son made. Do you think Judge Newman will address Alex Murdaugh directly today? I wonder. Yes, he will. There's a 100% chance he will. I wonder what the loss of his own son recently will affect his words. I think it would be. I think it would be inappropriate for the judge to bring that up because that would cloud. It would cloud the decision, I think, and it would cloud every decision he's made. If he brings it up now, that might be grounds for mistrial. I don't know. Do you think the judge will bring up his previous family members on his sentence round as the judge's peers or his ancestors? I don't know one man's view. I'm not sure what he's going to bring up. We'll watch and see. Yeah, mods. I see the chat. It's fine, Samantha. I'm cool with whatever. Don't feel like it's very strict. They're just asking a question about one of the commands that we have in chat. But The lie that kept the focus on him stopped any looking for another suspect. That he continued that lie is what convinced me, says Edward. Do you think Alex will speak today if given the chance? I hope he gets the chance. I don't know what he'll say. I don't know. We haven't seen from him any remorse. And right now, at this point, he is guilty. He was innocent until yesterday. And now, legally under the law, he is guilty. And I don't know if we're going to see remorse at this point. Dodie, I don't know how he lost his son. I don't know the circumstances of that. I know it just was about a month before the trial started. Alex has money. They never got into the details of the family trust his dad had. I'm sure there's money somewhere, but there's also a lot of debt, and there's also a lot of people who have claims pending against the family that will move forward. So I don't know if he's going to end up with a lot of money, or if Buster's going to end up with a lot. He's probably going to get sued for various things himself. Newman is known for strong sentences. If he wants an appeal, he shouldn't speak. That's a good point. Admitting something here would pretty much kill your appeal. If he speaks, it will only be about him. Judge's son had a heart attack. Oh, man. All right. Warfare says, recovery addict has come to court in beige prison jumpsuit for sentencing. That'll be nice. Yeah, I'm glad it's not orange. I'm not a big fan of the orange. Yeah, and probably because I'm a cameraman, and I don't like bright, glaring things in the camera. I like nice, evenly balanced images, and I don't like super bright things. I don't know. So there are times for that, but I just like things to be nice and even. Creative B, there's mod chat over on Facebook. There's a little group. I think it's just for the mods that are more that are actively doing the moderation of the chat. I've put a couple of you as mods so you can share like your channel and things like that. But it's just discussing. I sort of tell them what the rules are, and then they do their best trying to guess at what I had said, because I'm not very good at explaining things to them. So I will say this right now: if for some reason during the course of today or any time you find yourself timed out in chat, please don't think that we hate you. Please don't think that you even necessarily broke a rule. Sometimes it's just.
Court is now in session.
I think this is the real one.
Newman presiding.
Yep, I think this is the real one. Yep, here we go. Anyway, don't think that that it's a problem. Just realize that one of the mods or myself might have thought that the conversation that you were involved with may approach something that we didn't want to have happen. So you may still be good, and it's not a problem. Just realize at that point it's just like hey, just dial it back a little bit, and it's all good. So it's a 300-second timeout.
Good morning.
Just to catch your attention. We're not heavy on the bad hammers here unless people are really, really rude and disrespectful to people.
All right,
So.
from the state, Mr. Waters.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're obviously here in the sentencing for the state versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh. Your Honor, I have prepared the sentencing sheets signed up. If I can hand those up to the clerk. Your Honor, very quickly, the defendant has no prior record, and the state has no victim impact people who want to speak at this time. But I will address the court briefly. And I don't need, Your Honor, to repeat the evidence that Your Honor just heard for the past 6 weeks, but it is overwhelming, and it shows this man to be a cunning manipulator, a man who placed himself above all others, including his family. A man who violated the trust of so many, including his friends, his family, his partners, his profession, but most of all, Maggie and Paul. This is a very complicated situation, and I want to offer my condolences to the family that has suffered here. We have tried very hard to be respectful and sensitive regardless of what position any person took. because this family has suffered, and they've had to suffer in the public eye. And I want to offer my condolences to this family. I want to offer it for Maggie and Paul and Mr. Randolph, too, who I had the pleasure of working with on one occasion. But the reality remains is that despite all this attention, this case is about Maggie Murdaugh and Paul Murdaugh, and I'm so thankful that the jurors gave them a voice. You heard about Paul. Obviously, there was the boat case, but you also heard him described as a fun-loving young man, a person who loved life, a person who would do anything for his friends, for anyone. And he's cut down as he was just starting to live his life. You heard about Maggie. You heard how sweet she was. You heard that she was a girl's girl who adapted to the outdoorsman life of her sons, how much she loved her sister and her brother-in-law and their children. And she was cut down in the prime of her life. Both of them, like everyone else, was unaware of who he really was. No one who thought they knew this man, no one who thought they were close to this man knew who he really was. And Your Honor, that's chilling. And I've looked in his eyes, and he liked to stare me down as he would walk by me during this trial. And I could see the real Alex Murdaugh when he looked at me. The depravity, the callousness, the selfishness of these crimes are stunning. The lack of remorse and the effortless way in which he lies, including here sitting right over there in this witness stand. Your Honor, a man like that, a man like this man, should never be allowed to be among free, law-abiding citizens again. And I would submit to you that the only just sentence here to give justice for Maggie and Paul is the maximum, and that would be 2 consecutive life sentences. Thank you, Your Honor.
You indicate that no victim would like to speak at this time. Would any victim like to speak at any time during these proceedings?
Your Honor, one of the things we did, and we did early on, obviously, as I just said, it's a very complicated situation, but we made the decision early on. We've had our victim advocate here who's been doing a wonderful job, regardless of the viewpoints of any individual family member, to provide aid and service to them, and we made that decision. I'm informed by our victim advocate that none of them wish to speak. The defense can certainly address that, but that's what I'm informed. But they certainly were offered the opportunity as is required, and I want to commend our victim advocate on the excellent job she did in handling this complex situation that we wanted to be sensitive to, because again, none of us are not mindful of the fact of the suffering of this family.
I noticed Sled Chief Mark Keel is here. Would you like to address the court on any matters, Chief?
Wow.
Yes, sir. Just to say, again, very proud of our agents, the work they've done. I'm proud of the partnership that we've had with the Attorney General's office as we've had for many years. And again, we're here to see the justice is served, and we believe it has been.
Thank you. For the defense.
Your Honor, Mr. Griffin and I would have no comment. The defendant would like to address the court, though.
Holy cow. Alex will speak.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm innocent. I would never hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never hurt my son, Paw.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sit down.
Yep.
Anything further?
I don't think further comment is necessary, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Murdaugh, if you'll come before the court for sentencing. This has been perhaps one of the most troubling cases, not just for me as a judge, for the state, for the defense team, but for all of the citizens in this community, all the citizens in this state, and as we've seen based on the media coverage throughout the nation, you have a wife who's been killed, murdered, a son savagely murdered, a lawyer, a person from a respected family who has controlled justice in this community for over a century, a person whose grandfather's portrait hang at the back of the courthouse that I had to have ordered removed in order to ensure that a fair trial was had by both the state and the defense. And I've sat through the trial. Not only have I sat through the trial, but also as the presiding judge of the state grand jury sat through and participated in the issuance of search warrants of various sorts, bond hearings, and have had to consider many things. And we have this case, and I'm also assigned to preside over 99 others, at least 99 other cases. Though testimony has come up regarding many of those other cases, I will not make any comment with regard to any other pending matter, as I have been assigned those cases as well. It's also particularly troubling, Mr. Murdaugh, because as a member of the legal community and a well-known member of the legal community, you've practiced law before me, and we've seen each other at various occasions throughout the years. And it was especially heartbreaking for me to see you go in the media from being a grieving father who lost a wife and a son to being the person indicted and convicted of killing them. And you've engaged in such duplicitous conduct here in the courtroom, here on the witness stand, and as established by the testimony throughout the time leading from the time of the indictment and prior to the indictment throughout the trial to this moment in time. Certainly, you have no obligation to say anything other than saying not guilty. And obviously, as appeals are probably expected or absolutely expected, I would not expect a confession of any kind. In fact, as I've presided over murder cases over the past 22 years, I have yet to find a defendant who could go there, who could go back to that moment in time when they decided to pull the trigger or to otherwise murder someone. I have not been able to get anyone, any defendant, even those who have confessed to being guilty, to go back and explain to me what happened at that moment in time when they opted to pull the trigger, when they opted to commit the most heinous crimes known to man. In this case, qualifies under our death penalty statute, based on the statutory aggravating circumstances of 2 or more people being murdered by the defendant by one act or pursuant to one scheme or course of conduct. I don't question at all the decision of the state not to pursue the death penalty. But as I sit here in this courtroom and look around the many portraits of judges and other court officials and reflect on the fact that over the past century, your family, including you, have been prosecuting people here in this courtroom, and many have received the death penalty, probably for lesser conduct.
Wow.
Remind me of the expression you gave on the witness stand. Was it tangled?
Tangled web, we weave.
Oh, what tangled web we weave. What did you mean by that?
It meant when I lied, I continue to lie.
And the question is, when will it end? When will it end? And it's ended already for the jury because they've concluded that you continued to lie and lied throughout your testimony. And perhaps with all the throng of people here, they, for the most part, all believe, or 80, 90%, 99% believe that you continue to lie now when your statement of denial to the court. Perhaps you believe that it does not matter, that there's nothing that can mitigate a sentence given the crimes that were committed. You know, a notice of alibi was filed in this case by counsel in November, and we conducted a hearing, pretrial hearing, in which you claimed to have been someplace else at the time the crime was committed. Then, after all of the witnesses placed you at the scene of the crime, at the last minute, or last minutes or days, you switched courses and admitted to being there. And then that necessitated more lies and continued to lie. And I say, where will it end? It's already ended for many who have heard you and concluded that it'll never end. But within your own soul, you have to deal with that. And I know you have to see Paul and Maggie during the night times when you're attempting to go to sleep. I'm sure they come and visit you. I'm sure.
All day and every night.
Yeah, I'm sure. And they will continue to do so. And
they're thinking different things.
And reflect on the last time they looked you in the eyes, as you looked the jury in the eyes. I don't know.
This is harsh.
Person who's always been such a gregarious, friendly person can cause your life to be tangled in such a web such a situation that yours have spun into, and it's so unfortunate because you had such a lovely family of such friendly people, including you, and to go from that to this. You know, your license to practice law has been stripped away from you. You turned from lawyer to witness, and now have an opportunity to make your final appeal as an ex-lawyer. And it's almost, it's really surprising that you're waiving this right at this time. And if you opt to do so, it's on you. You're not compelled to say anything. But you have the opportunity to do so.
Judge, I tell you again, I respect this court, but I'm innocent. I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my son, Paw.
Well, and it might not have been you. It might have been the monster you become when you take 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 opioid pills. Maybe you become another person. I've seen that before. The person standing before me was not the person who committed the crime, though it's the same individual. We'll leave that at that. Before announcing sentence on these cases, with regard to all of the other pending cases, are any of them here in Colleton, or I'm sure some of them are?
Yes, sir.
Half of them, or?
I don't have that in front of me, but there are a substantial number of charges here. There's some in Hampton, Orangeburg, Beaufort, Allendale. There may be others that I'm not thinking of right now.
We might have worn out our welcome here in Colleton.
Colleton's been great.
They have been, and I'll take this opportunity to thank Sheriff Hill and all of the court officials and really everyone I've met and dealt with while here in Colleton County. Just been great. But without any delay, we're going to schedule some of the other matters. Yes, I know Mr. Harpootlian's scheduling is complicated, and you've sacrificed quite a bit to be able to be here defending Mr. Murdaugh, as well as the Attorney General's office, with all the other many things and obligations you have. And to be able to have the Attorney General here, Alan Wilson, for the period of time that he's devoted to being here, along with everyone else, it's been quite a sacrifice. But there are other victims whose cases deserve to be heard. And this case has jumped some of those other cases. Perhaps jumped it because of this case resulting in an assault on the integrity of the judicial system in our state, law enforcement in our state. Even during this trial, the law enforcement have been maligned for the past 5 or 6 weeks by one who had access to the wheels of justice, to be able to deflect the investigation And as the evidence is pointed out in this case, the looming storm that Mr. Waters talked about, I can just imagine on that day, June 7th, when a lawyer is confronted and confesses to having stolen over $500,000 from a client, and he has a tiger like Mark Tinsley on his tail pursuing discovery in the case involving the death of Mallory Beach, and having a father, for the most part, on his deathbed. I could imagine, or really can't imagine, but I know it had to have been quite a bit going through your mind on that day. But amazingly, to have you come and testify that it was just another ordinary day, that my wife and son and I were out just enjoying life. Not credible, not believable. You can convince yourself about it, but obviously you have the inability to convince anyone else about that. So if you made any such arguments as a lawyer, you would lose every case like that. Cases you will never have an opportunity to argue anymore, except perhaps your own as you sit in the Department of Corrections. Anything further?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Murdaugh, I sentence you to the State Department of Corrections on each of the murder indictments in the murder of your wife, Maggie Murdaugh. I sentence you for a term of the rest of your natural life for the murder of Paul Murdaugh, whom you probably loved so much. I sentence you to prison for murdering him for the rest of your natural life. Those sentences will run consecutive. Under the statute involving possession of a weapon during a violent crime, there is no sentence where a life sentence is imposed on other indictments. That is the sentence of the court, and you are remanded to the State Department of Corrections. And officers may carry forth on the imposition. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
$99 more cases assigned to this judge. All those are the financial crimes. The 7 additional ones are federal, I believe. The IRS related. The photographer there sitting in the jury box was the photographer who went to the jury review of Moselle and took the pictures there. Appeal is already in the works. Yes, it most definitely is.
All right. There.
Yep. Let's see here. I was surprised. I've not seen this judge sentence anyone before, and I'm surprised with how harsh he came across. How he strips everything from him, basically, verbally. Pain all around, pain for the family. I mean, Buster, John Marvin, everybody. That's wow.
Before we adjourn, an order was issued concerning maintaining the juror's identity being anonymous. And that order was issued, and for the most part it's been complied with, except for the jury leaving the courtroom yesterday, or not the jury, but the defendant leaving the courtroom while the jury is still seated. Protecting the identity of the jurors is certainly extremely important during the course of a trial to ensure that no one makes contact with the jury or attempts to influence the jury. Jurors have a right to continue that privacy beyond their jury service, but they're not obligated to do so. And it would not surprise me if jurors choose to come forward and to speak, and they're encouraged to do so if that is their desire. I have no problem whatsoever with the jurors unmasking themselves and speaking freely with the media, because they have undergone a life-changing experience as it relates to many of them. And some of them are here now, and I want them to know that should anyone attempt to harass them or annoy them, please let me know and I will address the issue. Secondly, there's a complaint now regarding the posting of autopsy photographs or photos that came from within the courtroom. It's based on the direction of the photographs. It did not come from the audience. It came somehow from within the well of the court. The parties have requested an investigation of that. I have my hands full doing my job, and I don't attempt to conduct any investigations beyond the conducting of a trial, but to the extent that law enforcement decides to review that, that will be the responsibility of law enforcement.
Will, Your Honor.
Yes. And of course, one of the reasons we've sought to seal graphic photos is because the parties have a right to privacy and a right to those matters not being publicly disclosed. If anyone has heard about the recent settlement that Kobe Bryant's, another sports analogy, Kobe Bryant's wife just made with Los Angeles County and others out there over certain disclosures of information involving the death of Kobe Bryant. Liability can be substantial, and it's a risk for the most part that's not worth taking. So we'll let everyone judge themselves accordingly with that regard. Aside from all that, our business is done here in Colleton County, and I get to use my gavel one or few times during this trial and order that court be adjourned. Sine die.
All right. Judge Clifton Newman just remains so likable.
I don't know. Sine die. That was quite a sharp gavel rap. Bryant's wife made millions on the public release of death photos. Yeah, the thing is the number of cameras allowed in the courtroom were extremely limited. And it's basically that comes from a pool photographer. That comes from one of the photographers who's whose job it is to take photos of the events in court. Either that or it comes from, oh, look, there's Tinsley right there. Tinsley shaking hands. Wow. That looks like prosecutors are shaking hands, cordial all the way around. I believe there is respect there. The AG as well, shaking hands with the defense attorneys. I don't know why Tinsley's up there. It's interesting. Okay. The family's leaving. The family's leaving the courthouse right now. Let's see, they are right here, just walking away right now. Yeah, Tinsley that strikes me as weird. All right. Wow. Newman just dropped the mic, dropped the hammer. That's what he did. It's Mr. Barber right there. All the attorneys we've seen throughout these 6 weeks in the cross and direct, or direct and cross, I should say. A pretty interesting event. And the judge mentioned that some of the jury was there. He had encouraged them to attend as in the gallery today, and that some of them were there. That's interesting. Let's see here. I've missed Chad a little bit. I realize feelings are strong right now. Let's be very respectful back and forth. I respect that many of you will not agree with my opinions expressed today. That's all right. As long as we express them respectfully, they're welcome here. You don't have to agree with me. Tinsley did just barge up there, Golden Mom. I don't know why. He just walked right up to the front and started talking with the court clerk. Yeah, it doesn't mean someone from the court was releasing sealed photos. The persons asked to make copies would have made extras for just that purpose. It could have been. It could have been anybody from this side of the bar, is what the judge was saying. That bar, we've got jets flying over. We don't get jets very often here. The bar that separates the gallery from the well, everyone on this side should have a reason to be there. Witnesses are up there briefly. None of the witnesses were taking pictures. Well, those would have been detected right away. But I also believe none of the jury members were taking pictures. That would also be detected. So we're looking at attorneys, paralegals, and court staff. That's awful. Tinsley probably does feel satisfied with the outcome. He still has a case he is pursuing. Let's see. Tinsley's a good old boy. You better be covering something new. I can't afford to relapse this soon, says Aged Lost. We are. Well, first of all, Aged Lost, thanks for bringing this up. Tonight, actually, we're going to take a break from trial. We're going to take a break from the tensions. As always, when trial gets to the end, it's tense. We're going to reset. We have a podcast tonight. Weather Watch and I, Thomas and I, have our podcast. It'll start at 8 p.m. tonight on this channel. If you haven't watched, I encourage you to watch the last one. It's hilarious. Thomas is going to be eating some new food that he's never had before. I'm not sure it's going to be as bad as what I ate. And I'm going to be announcing, I think I've selected for myself something that I want to try next week. As a matter of fact, it's already brining, shall we speak, if I give a little bit away. Next trial, we're going to look a little bit at what's available in the schedule. Give me just a little bit. I'm going to probably announce that we will be going live Monday. Let's put it that way. Monday, 9 a.m., we're going to be going live again. We're just trying to hammer down the details of which one we're covering. There's a lot of other trials I want to cover as far as updates for things that are happening in BK, things that are happening with Lori Daybell Vallow, that case, how that's developed and split and exploded in the last couple days. Also, we've got Sarah Boone and updates that are happening there, things that are coming there. We've got the OnlyFans murder. We've got tons of things. I know we're getting close to the trial for the two kids that killed their teacher for a bad grade. We've got a lot of different trials happening, and we're going to look at the schedule and see what we can put together and see where we go from here. But we will have more trials to discuss for sure. Whoa, I don't want that. Let's go here. All right, so did Alex waive his right to appeal? No, Richard, he did not. As a matter of fact, he preserved it by getting up there and saying, I am innocent. If had he got up and said, I am guilty, an appellate court would be like, you confessed. There's nothing to appeal. And so the fact that he got up and said, I'm innocent, it basically cements in stone that there will be an appeal. And there are so many things to appeal off of. KF7AI says, wow, what a morning, off to make a living. Good luck, Bob. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking in. Good to see you again. Karen says, recovery addict. The picture I saw of Paul's autopsy was a photo from a monitor. It gave credit to an audience member. Audience members should not have... Man, they weren't supposed to have their phones in there. They weren't supposed to be turned on. I know James from the court got in trouble. One of the bailiffs said that he had his phone out in court, was using his phone during court, which is not allowed. And he was actually vindicated of that allegation because he actually wasn't in court the day the bailiff said it happened. Andre says, till today I don't feel anything. Now it just feels sad. Everyone is hurt because of one man's actions. Next trial is Chat versus Weather Watch, says Adam. No. Don't be hard on him. We've got to do a podcast tonight. Let's see. Are Nicole, Amber, Matthew, Harris available for comment on the air? Michelle, I think they're all hard at work. I haven't seen them. I mean, Amber is working hard as a mod, but she has other responsibilities as well. Okay, the eye drop case. The eye drop case got pushed, last I heard. We jumped in briefly with Judge Doro up there in Wisconsin, and it sounds like not only did it get pushed, it might have been moved to a different judge because of conflicts between the schedules. And it might be later this year, like we're talking October timeframe, that this gets pushed out. It's way out there. So... yeah, and this is common. I mean, trials get moved and moved and moved. Is James on YouTube? James from the court has just barely started on YouTube. He actually just barely got monetized, probably within the last month. He does not yet have a camera, so he's on his super chats are going towards him purchasing a camera, and I think he's got enough now, which is awesome. It's also going towards the expense because he does actually travel to there. He's in South Carolina and watches the trial. He'll be going to another trial as well, and probably continuing that. I saw audience people using their phone, says Carol. That is so wrong. Where can we find the jury member interview? It was done on CBS. I know. It was carried in newspapers over in Britain, in Great Britain, England, I guess I should say. I think the Daily Mail had an article on it over there. I wish the judge addressed the family for his condolences. Yeah, that seemed to be an oversight. Thank you, Daisy. Appreciate the kind words. Thank you all for being here. He has a camera now. Awesome. I watched his live stream last night, and there was no camera. It might have just been convenient for him not to be on at that time. Let's see. I still can't believe we were robbed of the dumpster defender trial, says Content Lasagna. That's where the not today soundbite comes from, right? I think I've still got that saved on here somewhere. Let's see if I've got that one on here. Lawsuit, make them work. Oh, it's I doubt it.
I doubt it.
Is that the one? Is that the dumpster defender trial? There are no winners. The whole family is ripped apart. Buster lost his whole family. It's very sad all around. Dublin Girl, 100% correct. Just think of the mug slogan, opportunities for eye drop case. Do you think Alec's lawyers will handle his appeal? I would guess they're moving on from Alec. I don't see why they would move on. They have all the background. They have all the experience. They have the knowledge of the case. Bringing a new lawyer on would require a lot of work just to get them up to speed as far as the events and what happened. I think it would be the lawyers he has are two good lawyers. Harpootlian and Jim Griffin are great lawyers. I would say Harpootlian might be reaching the sunset of his career as a lawyer. He might have some time left here still in the political realm, But Jim Griffin is fantastic, and I don't see any reason why he would want to move on from that. They're also friends. They've got that connection, so we'll see. Karen says, appreciate your coverage of this trial. The whole situation is absolutely tragic. I understand the jury's findings, but don't agree with them. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Article is posted on Facebook and Discord. Thank you, Denise. That article I think you're talking about is the juror member who spoke out, and it was one of the male jurors who spoke out in the last 12 hours or so. What a way to end the week on a Friday. What case is next so I can prepare myself for next week? I don't know, Picky. I've got some suggestions, some that are in the works right now. I want to go back and watch the beginning to see if it's to see how it's going. So I'm going to be doing homework all over the weekend today and then just to figure it out. But do show up Monday. We'll have a lot to cover. This has been a long process. Thanks for your dedication to us all. Thank you for being here, Golden Girl. I appreciate it. It would not be the same without you, as I've said many times. But you guys are what makes this channel just absolutely amazing. Kelly Harper says, there are no winners or losers, in my opinion. It's called justice. Justice is blindfolded, unbiased, as we should be. If you're ever on a jury, you'll have to be. Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate that. Much love to the channel, says Mutt. Thank you, Mutt. Much love to your channel as well. Bella says, okay, my friends, off to work. This has been horrific. I just can't wrap my head around him murdering Maggie and Paul. Glad the jury found him guilty. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Bella. I'm addicted now, so I'll be here, says Picky. Thank you. Where do you find trial schedules? Gloria, I like using the Discord page. If you hit type !Discord in chat, it will bring up a link to go to Discord. It's a little bit tricky to use if you haven't used Discord before, so you might want to ask once you get there in chat and follow the instructions to learn how to use it. But they have a calendar of all the upcoming trials. They have folders for all the trials and the documents for the developments, their discussion on different trials. That's where I go for most of it. And then I also have my own sort of little shorthand notes that I keep on the ones they're on my hot sheet, so to speak. Do you know why there was no victim impact statements, do you think? Denise, my gut feel is that the family thinks he's innocent. If the family thinks he's innocent, they probably are not going to say anything that might hamper his appeal, or at least make things muddled. Can you do a poll on next cases? Let's do this. It would be a different poll. It would be start a Q&A. What case should? Hang on a second. Okay, so I've started a Q&A. I've never done one of these before. What case should we follow next? So now all the answers to this, I think they should pop up. I don't know how this works. We'll see if it works properly. If there's a case that you think that we should watch, we should follow, obviously it's going to need to be one that is televised. It'll be very difficult, say, for instance, if the Vallow Daybell case does not allow cameras, and currently it does not, it would be very difficult to follow that if we don't have video to talk about. So we'll have to look at some of the major channels, see what cases they're covering. Idaho 4, if it's televised, yes. BK definitely is one we're going to be talking about. And we will be talking about that one as it develops, because we know that Koberger has not waived his right to a speedy trial. So this could go to trial in the next 2 to 3 months. I mean, it seems crazy that it would be that fast, because so often a murder trial takes years before it goes to trial, especially a complicated one like that. But if he never waives that right to a speedy trial, the state has to move forward, and it's going to be crazy. A lot like this one, it's going to be fast. Sarah Boone, ask her and Cross why she didn't send us letters. Sarah Boone's definitely on the short list. OnlyFans, says Lady Writer, her interrogation was crazy. She's going to be a Sarah Boone BK without a doubt. We're watching that one as well. My only concern with OnlyFans is that a lot of the evidence is going to be spicy. And that could be a challenge for YouTube in terms of service and quite frankly, my channel. I don't want that. But we'll follow if the OnlyFans trial can be conducted in a way that sort of like this trial where evidence is not shown, because I don't want to see all her videos from OnlyFans, and YouTube doesn't want me to show them. So What about the one where the ex-boyfriend killed the current boyfriend? Carol, if you can give me the name on that one, I can look into that. Valid day bill, if possible. Chandra, I hear that one as well. OnlyFans, vote for that. Zachariah Anderson, says Golden Mom. Let me check that one. That's currently in progress, right? Zachariah Anderson. That's the ex-boyfriend murder trial. I think that's the one you're talking about, Carol. Okay. And that is going right now. That is going right now. We're on day 4. Does anyone know the estimated time for that trial? The body was never found. Wisconsin man Zachariah Anderson faces trial for charges in connection with the disappearance and death of Rosalio Gutierrez Jr. in May of 2020. Anderson is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, hiding a corpse, and stalking. Prosecutors allege Anderson stalked his ex-girlfriend and killed her new love interest, Gutierrez, at his Kenosha apartment. Anderson is back on trial after a judge declared a mistrial last year. After only 2 days of testimony, Gutierrez's body has never been found. That one does seem interesting. Let me keep that on the short list here. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close the Q&A. It looks like we're not getting a ton of suggestions there. Let's close that out and go back to chat. Okay, Brian Koberger, first hearing is June 26th. And that's going to be the preliminary hearing that he waived the right to a speedy preliminary hearing. That one will probably get an idea there in June if it's going to move forward fast or not. So that's going to be 3 or 4 months out. Court and Clenny case, OnlyFans. We're definitely following Sarah Boone. Wendy says, sorry to those who have offended today. I'm deeply and will forever be angered by corruption, and I saw the AG's office to be super corrupt in this case. Thank you, Wendy. We can. The good thing about this is we can have different opinions and still be here civil to each other. So thank you very much. Let's see, who would want to make a victim impact statement? Can you address the portrait of Murdaugh's grandfather? Judge had to order removed. Yes, Georgia Culture. In the back of the courtroom, I wish I had a screenshot to show you, but in the back of the courtroom on the left, it would be basically directly behind where Alex Murdaugh sat. All the way back on that wall was a portrait of his grandfather, who was a prominent political figure. And with this case addressing Mr. Murdaugh, there's a visual similarity between the two, and having his picture on the wall might have influenced the case in some way. So the judge ordered that picture to be removed. It will be put back up after this trial is over, and will probably be taken down again during the 99 financial crime charges. Let's see, Zachariah Anderson. Case just started for Anderson. It's on right now. I see that. I'm watching. I literally could hit a button and we would be there. But I want to see. I need to find a couple different sources for it. I can see Law and Crime is covering that one. So there's no speeches from the families. The families decided not to speak. They had the opportunity and chose not to. Debbie, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. iDrop case, that will be fascinating. It sounds like it won't be Judge Doro anymore, though. The Idaho case. I'm curious to see what happens to cameras in the courtroom after the jury flash. Hopefully they will keep them in. I think OnlyFans might be a little too hot. I agree. Rapper Young Thug in Atlanta. A bunch of defendants and supposed to be former gang members turning on him. Young Thug, is that the one where we had the incident? I thought we had that incident already. Let's see. Clipson says that trial is crazy. Can't send the judge over in that one. It's cray. Pepper Glamper, is it true Alex Murdaugh was offered a plea for 30 years before trial? It sounds reasonable. The fact that they didn't go for the death penalty, I would guess that they did offer a plea. Not interested in the OnlyFans trial. Can we do one where the attorneys are awesome, the judge is amazing, the defendant is obviously guilty, and they're great sound bites? Red Pen, if you can find me that one, that is where we're going next. That would be awesome. We'd all be on the same page, have a lot of fun together. Sarah Boone, definitely. Valo Daybell is not televised. Kelly, I know that that's currently the case, but there's also there are motions being made. There's actually a lawyer that is representing all of the media in that case with the judge, and they're trying to get that changed. The eye drops one, yes, that one got pushed off. Zachariah, OnlyFans woman is a narcissist for sure. Let's see. Do you remember anything about the little details of the case he was in? Says, oh, that's to TW. Hey, Rosie, good to have you here. Good to see you. Letitia Stanch. Let me look at Letitia. Letitia Stanch is Stash. Okay. That's the stepmom to last 6 weeks. This is in Colorado. Murdering her stepson. Oh. When does this one start? Okay, I'll look into that one. Thank you very much, Roxy, for that. I'll look deeper in there. If nothing else, I'll be on the Valo Daybell part of the trial in April, says Kathy. Zachariah Anderson's the same judge from Rittenhouse, and he is. I just don't know about him. Let's see. The Valo Daybell will be 2 separate trials now, and Chad's won't be until who knows when. Yes, but Chad wanted coverage, right? Lori did not want coverage. Chad did want coverage, media coverage. So maybe they'll be treated differently camera-wise. A.J. Armstrong here in Harris County. There's been 2 previous mistrials. This will be the 3rd try at capital murder case. He's charged with shooting and killing his parents. He was 16. What's the date on that one, Lindsay? A.J. Armstrong. Give me a minute here. Two previous mistrials, though. Let's see. Change of venue in January. Released a ruling. It's set to begin. It looks like that starts in May 1st. So we'll have a little bit of time before that one starts. Okay. They'll keep that on the burner. Okay. Somebody says buffer. Check burner, says Clipson's Victims. Sorry. I had the sound off. That doesn't help. That buffer sound doesn't help at all. Little side note, Mrs. R.A. took the burner phone, so let me see if I can check the burner from my laptop. Just 1 minute here. Yeah, don't call Mrs. R.A. on the burner phone. She won't answer. Okay, messages. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Amber just sent an image. Oh, this is the image of the judge, the solicitor, on his picture. And it's not the spitting image. He's much more bald than Amber. But Randolph Murdaugh Sr., also known as Buster, and Randolph Murdaugh III, hang on the wall inside a courtroom in Hampton County. Okay, thank you very much for that. I'm not going to post those just right now. Let's see. Check. Last post says, check your burner for poem text. Let me know if you find it. Let's see what. The Spun Web of Monstrous Lies. Is that it? Let me make sure I get the pentameter right here, last poet. The spun web of monstrous lies, the pills and all the strange denial, their final breaths taken in fear of the looming storm he brought to bear. the hammer dropped on his gilded head, locked away until he's dead. That's from Last Poet. Thank you very much, Last Poet. Spinning a little bit of rhyme today for the case. I appreciate that. Hey, R.A. Newman's son passed away due to a cardiac event in January. Okay, got that part. Let's see. Last name, Pavsik. Lori, one day I'll remember. Pavsik. Okay. Good morning from Iowa. Good morning, Paula Hulk. Say hello to Mrs. R.A. I will do that. Also known as Wallflower. Let's see. Close the poll. I think I closed the poll already. Got that one. Got it. That was the old stuff. Okay, I think I'm up to date. Okay, I checked the burner phone. Thank you very much. Okay, so it's Friday. It's the weekend. It's early. I know that. Let me try to catch up on chat. In true Texas fashion, they're waiting until the rodeo ends before the jury selection begins again. I believe that'll start in March. It's been wild here locally. Banners dropped over hay. Wow. Lindsay, keep me up to date on that one. She killed him and put his body in a suitcase, threw it over the bridge. Kelly, which one was this? Another suitcase murder? Or I guess it was a suitcase disposal. Abby, let's see. Abby, who says this one? Oh, it's Lil Miss. Okay. Lil Miss says, how about Amia, baby Amia? Let's see, who is that? Just one second. That's in Indianapolis. The mother of the missing baby. Okay, we keep an eye on that one. I don't know the court date. It would be wild if Sarah Boone got married to Gerald Brooks. Debbie, oh my goodness, that would be too much. Obsessed Ex-Boyfriend just started this week. Yes, I've got to catch up on that one. I don't know anything about it. I know that it's literally live as we speak. And we've got another man bun. So, you know, just like we had with the other Alex that shot himself in the foot. Let's see. Perhaps something a little more lighthearted for the next one. This trial was very dark and depressing. It was. Horse sheet and bananas. Let's see. Thank you, Recovery Addict Mrs. Ari, for all that you do and every one of us that shares in your true crime addiction. Your channel's absolutely the best. Thank you, Lisa B. I appreciate that. Thanks for the kind words. Paralegals rock where the backbone were in the beginning, the middle, and the end. Pam Jams, the paralegals do all the work, and then the attorneys take all the credit. That's just how it goes, but we know how it works. We know your value. We'll try. I tried to do a question and answer poll. Didn't get a lot of answers. They just popped up in chat here instead. Does anyone remember the name of the jolly judge from Florida? Are you talking about the guy that had the Tesla model on his car, of his car on the desk? That was for the girlfriend murderer, the guy that stabbed his girlfriend like 14 times or something. I got grounded for my burner, being a bad boy the last 6 weeks. I have been told to use it less. There is a press conference happening. Thank you very much, David. Today is day 3. We can catch up on it together, says Norma. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Just one second. Let's see what is happening. I'll probably have to restart the video stream just so we can break from one case and pick up the other one. Let's see, there is a press conference right now. I see that. Okay. Let's see, obsessed ex-boyfriend murder trial. Let me just pop in here and see what's happening.
Fell asleep, sorry, missed afternoon nap. Is that what he said? Yes. Okay. And then after that, did you receive a call from him?
I'm going to object to leading again.
That's sustained.
What, if anything,
This
can
audio
you
is
say
awful.
about later whether you got a call from him?
Yes, I don't remember the whole phone conversation, what it was about, but usually we just talk about our day or how we feel and what's going on.
I'm going to have to see if I can find a better audio feed than
Did
this.
he ever arrive at your home that night?
But,
That night, no.
okay, well, I'll take a look at that and see if I can get better audio than that. We'll take a look. Let's see, Court TV Live. I can't take Court TV right now because I get hit with the copyright strike now. The press conferences are difficult to take because they're outside of court. They're not pool camera, and they'll zing me. Please, no more press conferences. Yeah, I'm done. Let's catch up together. Gun says when there's a life sentence, the gun sentences are not imposed. That's just a rule. Most true crime is depressing, especially if trials that make TV. Ivan, I think you hit the nail on the head. This has been a little depressing for everybody. Signs on the highway and signs on hay. You said Texas, and either one could be appropriate. Just bales of hay with signs on them. Looking forward to the fun podcast tonight. It is going to be fun. I'm not sure if Weather Watch is in here or if he's working right now, but it's going to be a blast. We want another case. There will be one, but I think we need a reset. We need a break. This is, especially the last few days, have been very emotionally heavy. Hope this channel stays with major crime. Judge Judy can be seen anywhere. Yeah, we will. We're not going to go. Occasionally, we'll bring something up if there's something remarkable and really funny. It'll be a light side. We'll also talk about police chases. That's another one of my loves. There was one yesterday, as a matter of fact, in California. It lasted about 25 minutes. I was just going to pre-watch that before I shared it with you guys. I might do that this afternoon if it's good. Let's see. I think that's about it. Good night, Al. Good night, Debbie. I know you need some rest. Get some rest. All right, you guys. So, look at this. Lily Girl, member for 2 months. Look at that green courthouse next to your name. Looks fantastic. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Amazing. Good to have you here. Would not be the same without you. We're probably gonna love some police chases. We're probably gonna take a break for a little bit. We're going to have most of the day off. I've got to prep a little bit more for the podcast tonight just to make sure it's as good as you guys deserve and Weather Watch wants. So I've got a little bit more work to do there. I will say that if it's your last chance, if you want to get a story included in the podcast, if you have something that you've seen happen that you would like us to share, if it's funny, if it's interesting, if it's bizarre, as long as it's appropriate, send it to the burner phone and send a link to the story anywhere we can find it, whether it's a news story, a YouTube video, something like that. We'd like it to be sort of current. If it's years and years ago, it's probably not going to be selected. We like to see what's happening right now. But we'd love to get your input, and then if your story is selected, of course you're going to get a major shout out from both of us as you're the winner with a funny story. So there's still a chance to do that. If you need the burner phone number, now's the time to do it. To just type !burner in chat, and it will respond. The bot will respond with my burner number, and it will text my wife as she's at the store with getting groceries. She's getting water. She's getting pickles. I was going to say. I think I'll tell you tonight. Actually, I'm not going to tell you the food that I'm working on for my next taste test on the podcast. Last time I did a spicy maple bourbon pickle on an Oreo cookie. I ate 3 of them, and it was probably the worst thing I've ever had in my life. And I've had some pretty nasty food, but it was very, very bad. It's the worst thing I've had this decade. Clearly, like above and beyond, hands down. But we'll do it for you. We'll try these recipes. Car chase, says Abby. Yes, we're gonna try for that. Also, if you do need a mug, thank you very much for posting the link there, 6-Volt Bus. The mug is available on eBay right now. We have 5 colors available. I think we're running low on some of the colors, so we're gonna see if we can restock. and make those available. We have mugs all over the world, which is wonderful. It lets you just show that you're a true crime addict, and it's just a fun mug. And it's 15.5 ounces. It's a massive mug. It's just wonderful. I've got both the red and the blue. We've also got I think I've also got a pink one. That's I think in the dishwasher right now. The dishwasher safe, microwave safe, available on eBay at that link, as are the mouse pads, which are a lot of fun as well. And I love the artwork. So if you want the mouse pad with the Recovery Addict logo, courtesy of Stephen Lee, that you can do that as well. I think I should probably spend the rest of the day getting Ivan's hoodie fixed up. And make that possible. Just whatever I need to do, I owe Ivan that. He has been super patient. Ivan, thank you so much. I'm seeing the press conference. I saw that happening there as that's going on. We've missed a lot of Sheriff's Breakfast in Knoxville. Knoxville actually stopped streaming their arraignments by video. I think we still got audio, but no video. So we might have to go elsewhere. I'm not sure what happens there, but they ended up not liking the attention. Great day, everyone. See you on Discord and Facebook. Great day as well, Georgia. Happy Friday to you. We'll hopefully see you tonight on the podcast, 8 p.m. tonight. My husband wants to try the beans and eggs pizza. I remember he is a Brit. I'm okay with beans and eggs pizza, but I'm guessing, Dilly Pickles, that he probably wants the eggs to be like a sunny side up as well. Is that correct? I have a food challenge for you or Weather Watch. Do I send it to the burner? Yes, Lily girl. Please do. We'd love to consider it. I can't promise you that we would accept it, but we'd love to consider it. I'm seeing some messages come in right now, so thank you very much for that. I miss the days of the magic disappearing void mug. I can make that happen. It's actually the blue. It's this one right here that does it. But the key has to be adjusted just right, and I've adjusted it so it doesn't. I could fix it and make it go invisible again. The fun thing about my software is I can actually make any color you want be keyed out. That's the term we use technically, to make it disappear and make it invisible. So imagine my picture is a layer, and me, physical me that's sitting here, that's a layer on top of a picture, right? Well, actually, the picture of me physically, there's a green screen behind me. There's a wall back here that's green. You can sort of see it if I move my hands really fast. You can see a little green shows up between my fingers. So the key makes that disappear, and then I can put a picture behind me, and it shows up. So that's how I end up in the courtroom like this. But I can make that color anything I want. So I can make my blue shirt disappear, and it would just be like a floating head talking to you, things like that. It's a lot of fun. My kids love playing with that part. Crumbly parents and James and Jennifer Crumbly in Michigan's Court of Appeals now in manslaughter case. Sylvia, has the Court of Appeals ruled on that one? I thought the Supreme Court was going to rule on whether or not they could even be charged. We were waiting for a decision from them. So it's like on perpetual hold. Okay, I just got the food challenge. Thank you very much for that. I'll share that with Weather Watch tonight. Sunny side up always on the Dilly Pickles. I guessed as much. OnlyFans girl has lost her looks, says Mac. Let's see. Happy Friday, handsome boy from Mrs. KQD. You're loved and appreciated. Thank you very much, KQD and Mrs. KQD. Good to connect with you through here. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. I hope you have good weather as well. Suzanne says I'm enjoying my pink mug right now. When you say now, do you mean right now? Yes. Kelly, the blue shirt. A key the blue shirt, make the key disappear. You guys are going to... Here's what will happen. As soon as I do that, I'm going to get like screenshots of you guys photoshopping all sorts of things into that. Maybe we'll do it on the podcast. I don't know. I have to change a plug that's not currently plugged in right now to make that happen. I fix it too well. We like goofy things like that, and the swarm of bees. Well, you've already got. See right here. Look at that. See that little crack? It's like Inception, where something's not quite right. There's like a crack in the building. I have to fix it because the camera is. Oh, and now there's a crack way up there. See, I can't fix it perfectly. I either go off the green screen one way or off the green screen the other. So I'll fix it somehow. Let's see. Ooh, Charles Adelson. Charles. Let's see Charles. Let me pull him up. Let me check that trial out. Adelson. Trial date pushed back for Charles Adelson. That was a day ago. What was it pushed to? Let's see. Pushed back. Won't be in court until later this year. The original date was set for April. Looks like that one's a push, so we'll have to pencil that in a little further down the page. Looks like it changed yesterday. 6 volt, we'll play with it at some time. A lot of people have asked for some of the information about behind the scenes and how this works, so I'm happy to share that. As a green screen streamer, I feel your pain, says Beth. Beth, what's your stream? What's your channel about? Breathe and take an air, everyone. Just be a kind person. Yeah, today's a good day. Hopefully you've got good weather to just step outside and just appreciate life for what we have and just, take some deep breaths and smile at people. Let's see. Go to O.J. Simpson reaction after verdict. Yes, I watched O.J.'s. I think he posted it like on TikTok or something. I watched his take on that. It was interesting. I think the pictures do go back up on the wall. It was the FSU law professor murder I was following. Crazy case. I stream on DLive, just music and chat. It's a lot of fun. Well, Beth, that sounds awesome. It's I like to run into people who stop. Side, Beth, not you. Somebody just suggested something that I will not try. I will not try on as a food. It's not good. You stream on DLive, just music and chat. That is a lot of coolness there. I love music myself. I do play the guitar a little bit. There's a guitar over in the corner, way over there. I play occasionally. Little Miss, you are showing up here. You look great. I appreciated my snow thrower today. I have not had to shovel snow or run a snowblower in years, and I love it. Weatherwatch sent you good weather. That's awesome. Full of pollen and oak pollen. This is a tough time of year for pollen. We might talk about that a little bit tonight. Weatherwatch considers himself yelled at. Weather is nasty here today. He's gone into hiding. I think he's actually got some work going on right now. But hugs everyone, get some food. Guitar cool. Sounds like the family of Mallory Beach was in court today and thanked Mark Tinsley. That's interesting. So they're sort of seeing this as some sort of justice. Is that? I mean, it's not directly connected. I mean, obviously the state says that might have been part of the cause. I have caps. What does that mean? I do have caps. Speaking of food, my little sister Abs and I are going to Ramen House today. Yum, says Katrina. Sounds good. All right, I think we're going to... School called off last night in anticipation of the weather today. Katrina, I can see you. Little Miss, I can see you. Okay. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play some music. I hope all of you can join me tonight for the podcast. It's a lot of fun. I don't think we're going to have like an open phone call in, but there will be a lot of interaction with chat. And it's just going to be a fun time. Anytime I get to hang out with Thomas is cool, and hanging out with Thomas and you guys just makes it better. So please, if you can be there, that would be wonderful. It will be at 8 p.m. I realize for some of our friends across the pond, it's a little bit difficult, and I understand if you have to watch it on replay. So don't stay up and lose your good health on my account. Caps means beef with someone or someone. Oh, like I thought it meant like no cap was like no lie type thing. I'm not up to date. You guys have to keep me up to date on all the hip newfangled terms. My building disappeared for a bit. says Little Miss. 66,000 people were in chat, and I wasn't showing up on my TV. Oh, you might have been on the wrong channel, apparently, because I did not have 66,000 people in chat. I know that for sure. This time I'll be listening horseback for real. Says I'd rather be day working. Weather is good. I hope not to have everything fall apart. Good. Make sure you get that good weather coming your way. You know who to blame if it's a problem. I sent you some stuff on the burner for podcast and one for addicts. Thank you very much, Little Miss. I'll take a look at that as soon as my wife shows back up. Let's see everybody tonight. Sounds good, guys. This has been rough. This has been emotionally heavy trial. But that day is coming, says 6-volt bus. By that time, 6-volt bus, you're going to be like 2,000 volts. That's what you're going to be when we hit 60,000. But awesome. I do appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate you guys sharing your opinions, for being civil in chat, just for hanging out, for being friends, for making it such a fun place for new people to come and experience true crime in an environment that's different than what they can get anywhere else on the internet. I appreciate all the mods for the great work they've done. They're all trying to read my mind, and I make it very difficult for them. So please give them all the courtesy and respect they deserve. It's wonderful. Get some rest. I've had plenty of rest. I'm going to spend a little bit of time with my family today. We're going to do a little prep for the podcast. I'll be carrying groceries in for a little while because it's a big shopping week. Let's see. We'll see you tonight, Tag. Thank you very much for the peeps. That'll be a lot of fun. There's the peeps right there. All right. Please, tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone to make their day just a little bit better. And please stay safe till tonight when we go live for the podcast. 8 p.m. tonight on this channel. Click the subscribe, ring the bell if you'd like. You also have to have YouTube notifications turned on. Only 15% of you have YouTube notifications turned on. That might be why you're not getting the notification. So please check that. But hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. Look forward to seeing you all there. Please stay safe. Have a great day. We'll see you. Happy weekend. Woo!